welcome to this epic disaster. I am your host. I don't know. I mean, I was going to do a voice, but I decided not to. Welcome to this epic disaster. You know, it's going to take a little while for us to kind of kick in. We were off for 2 months. I don't know. I'm just trying new things out. I'm trying to be unique. I'm trying to be different. I'm trying to be, cutting edge or something.
Cutting edge.
Yes. I'm original.
We have a very cutting edge podcast here for you today.
Yeah. We're going to cut all kinds of edges. I don't even know what to do first. Jeez, I just don't know.
Do you remember how we do this?
No.
Okay.
I forgot everything. Are we actually doing a podcast?
I think so.
Okay.
Okay, so the first thing that we do is we say, hi, how are ya?
I just did.
Okay.
But I did it in a weird voice. Should we start over? Should I do the whole podcast in this voice?
No, please don't.
You know what I was doing a couple weeks ago? There's a weird that Santa Claus is coming to town, Mickey Rooney.
Yeah.
And he sings, "If you sit on my lap today."
Yes.
And I was doing it like Sean Connery. And I was like, "If you shit on my lap today." That's a bad Sean Connery, but that's why Sean Connery couldn't do that song because he kept saying, "If you shit on my lap today." And they gave it to Mickey Rooney.
I would suggest not shitting on anybody's lap
No.
unless you're into that kind of thing.
And Santa's not, because I've asked him several times.
Oh, okay.
He's like, "Get off my lap and go home."
Get off my lap.
That happened. Hey, we got a beer. Let's do a beer. Let's do the beer thing.
It's the live beer review where we open a beer and we drink it during the podcast.
We should change the name.
What do you think we should call it?
Live beer thingy. I don't know. Something different, maybe. It's very dark, huh?
It's a chocolate milk stout. That's what we're having today.
Coffee colored there.
So we are having, it's a coffee milk stout. Starry. It's a coffee milk stout.
Oh, I should have shaken it up.
No, you shouldn't have. It's called Interrogation Stout.
Ooh.
It is it's got 6.0% alcohol by volume.
Okay.
It looks like it is a mashup between Scofflaw Brewing and Brash Coffee Roasters.
Okay.
So,
smells
should
good.
be yummy.
Kind of smells good, don't you?
Yeah, we'll let you know what we think of it.
Yeah. It actually smells a lot like coffee. Now, I'm wondering now, this is something I never thought of. When they have something on, so, a lot of times we'll get a beer and it'll say like blueberry and we drink it. And it's like, it doesn't taste anything at all like blueberry. I wonder if the name is more for the smell than the taste.
Possibly.
Because it smells exactly like coffee.
Here's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping it doesn't actually have caffeine in it.
Surely not.
Because if it does, I won't sleep.
It's not bad.
It's not bad at all. Yeah.
I like the smell better, but it's still not bad. All right. Live beer review, as you know, if you've been listening to the show, we'll tell you at the end of the show what we think about it. We're going to be drinking it throughout the whole show. That's what we do. And then at the end, we talk about it.
Yeah. So far, so good. But again, we have a whole show to get through. So
guess what we did? Last night, we finished up Only Murders in the Building. Have you watched it? Have you been watching it?
I haven't even started it yet.
All right. I didn't know what to expect. Now, first of all, love Steve Martin. I like Martin Short a lot. He could kind of get on your nerves. Sometimes he's over the top.
A little grating.
He's totally over the top. And Selena Gomez, who I pretty much know nothing about except she used to date Justin Bieber and she's a kid. That's all I know.
She's a kid.
She's a singer and she's cute. And so I didn't know anything about her, but she's in this. Dang, she's good. She's a really, really good actress.
Really?
Now, I did some research and she was a Disney actress.
Wasn't she Mickey Mouse Club?
No, she was on one of those Disney shows or something.
Oh, okay.
She might have been in the club. I don't know. But, and then I kind of remembered that. So it should be obvious that she's a decent actress. She's got some skills.
Right.
She started off, she got some training. But she's really, really good.
Okay.
Martin Short, over the top every time he's on screen, just like you would expect.
Mm-hmm.
But Steve Martin, now here's something because I'm a huge Steve Martin fan.
Yes.
He was always like in my trinity when I was doing stand-up.
Right.
It was always Steve Martin, Robin Williams, and George Carlin. Those were the trinity.
Yes.
Of the deities.
The deities.
The stand-up deities for me. So a huge Steve Martin fan. But I've noticed as he's aged, he's played the straight man a lot more. And then, he and Martin Short went on the road and did a little show. Mm-hmm. And he was kind of the straight man a lot of times to Martin Short. But he's been really sort of willing to kind of take that role of being a little more of a straight man. And he's done that through this I'm not going to do any spoilers, but he kind of did that through most of the show until the finale last night. And he was like back in doing like the jerk kind of Steve Martin stuff. I haven't seen that in so long.
Really?
The really physical, just
wild and crazy guy.
So funny. He could still do it in his age. So
I think a
lot of age jokes. They do a lot of jokes about aging and stuff. And it's a silly show, but actually kind of smart too.
Okay.
And you don't realize it until you just think this is dopey, and then it's just like, but it's fun dopey. It's just like it's a mystery, and by the way, I solved the mystery several episodes before the end.
Did you?
I did, and my wife didn't believe it, and it turned out I won.
You won. What did you win?
Nothing, but I guessed it anyway. But yeah, it's just mindless fun. So they were doing season 2. I think they're already on the next season, and that's good. So we'll get a whole new mystery now.
So I was going to comment on your Steve Martin playing the straight guy comment, and I think that especially next to someone like Martin Short, who can't play a straight person,
right?
If he tried,
right,
like he has to be that over the top kind of person in order for him to like. I don't know. I mean, I can't say. I don't know the man. Maybe he can play a very dramatic actor and all this, and maybe he can play a straight guy to somebody else's crazy. Mm-hmm. But he's way better at the crazy.
Yeah, I read that Jerry Lewis talked a lot about Dean Martin.
Yeah.
And about how he was willing to take the straight man so often. But Jerry Lewis always said that Dean Martin was funnier than him, but he allowed himself to step back and be the straight guy because he understood the value of that. And Jerry Lewis was just this manic, crazy personality, and it's sort of the same way. They've got that same kind of blend.
They kind of do, yeah.
But Steve Martin, first of all, he's a brilliant writer.
Yes,
and he wrote most of this.
Oh, okay.
And it's really good. It's so much fun. And again, Selena Gomez, so good. Everybody was good in it. I was one of the comments, and I don't want to go too far into it, but the casting is so out of the box. I remarked to my wife last night about how you hear in Hollywood they're like, we're going to try to go with non-traditional casting, and everybody was just different from what you would expect in the casting.
Okay.
So they really, really allowed so many different types and personalities and handicaps and whatever just in the show. It's just really interesting.
That sounds like fun. I think I'm going to check it out.
It's worth it.
Okay.
Definitely. All right.
Cool.
So, there we go. Yeah.
So would you like to play a game of Would You Rather?
No.
Would you rather not?
I don't want to.
Well, too bad.
All right. I'm going to throw it. Should I toss it? Should I toss one? Should I toss one out?
Don't toss one out.
Here I go. I'm feeling heavy blue. And I said I wasn't going to guess this year.
Here you go.
I told you, but it's just everything is saying blue to me, and I don't know why.
Because it's green?
That's why I'm not going to guess this year.
Because you'll get it wrong. Green stands for ethics and intellect. So, would you rather have to cut your pet's hair with your teeth?
That's stupid.
Or with a weed eater?
Well, that would be a question up to my pet, actually. It's not like I haven't had their hair in my mouth.
Right. Because it's everywhere.
And the weed eater thing just sounds cruel.
It does sound cruel.
It's kind of ridiculous.
It's mean.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Okay. So you would gnaw at it for a while.
I would use the Rick eater, not the weed eater, if I have to. That's stupid. Who's going to cut their pet's hair with their teeth? That's ridiculous.
Well, if you're trying to get a mat out, you just gnaw on that mat for a while.
Yeah, all right.
But your dog An Australian Shepherd has a lot of hair.
Yeah, but my cat, we got that cat.
Yes.
We got a new cat.
And he's got mats every day.
Holy crap. My cat has so much hair. All right. 2, you dropped at the same time. You've been disqualified.
I don't get a question?
No, you're disqualified. Try it again. Green.
Green again.
Just like me. All right. Green is wanted to fall because I threw green. You threw 2, which was green and yellow, and then you threw it again, and it was green. So green's just dying to come out.
And I don't know why it was giving you blue vibes.
I don't know. Ethics and intellect is green, and here we go. Would you rather be famous for one day or be rich for one day? I don't understand either of those.
Why would you want to be either of those for one day?
I can understand, I guess, a little bit the rich because you could spend all the money. But I don't think you could be famous for one day. What do people, the whole world, forget about you the next day?
Yeah.
I mean, you could be less famous or not as famous, but you'll always be remembered by a group of people as the person who's famous for one day.
For one day,
And
yeah.
so that would make you famous forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the rich thing, it's like, if I were rich for one day and I went out and just spent a bunch of the money and I bought a house and I bought a car and I bought this and that.
You're still freaking rich.
You're still rich.
I don't know what I just said.
Fucking freaking?
That just came out. I don't say, I have.
You never say fuck.
No, I don't. Just like that, I don't. No. I have. So my wife's got a potty mouth.
Yes.
And I generally don't. But she says it a lot, and so I've kind of like started getting into this little habit of like joining in. So I think I need to stop because that just kind of like came out way too quick.
Yeah, because you never ever.
I know, it's just not my thing.
Interesting.
Anyway, I better stop fucking talking like that. Anyway, let's
quit fucking talking like that. This is a kid's show here.
It's a family show. People listen to the show with their families sitting around. I've been
around an old time radio
for 3 days straight. I've been full of anxiety. I don't know why. You've had that, right?
Oh,
Just
yeah.
like mystery anxiety.
Yes.
We don't know what it is.
Right.
There's not a real reason for it. A little bit of one, but not a real one. And it won't go away. And I've tried meditation. I've tried like zeroing in and just really concentrating on it, and it won't go away. It's just there. It's weird how anxiety like that will just grab onto you and not let go.
What has changed recently?
Nothing. It is. I think it's about. See, here's the thing that a lot of people don't understand. You live this life. You're like most people. So you have a regular job.
Okay, so you're talking about me specifically.
Yes,
not
you.
the peripheral.
No, you.
Okay.
So you like, let's say you go out and buy a bunch of groceries, and while you're buying groceries, maybe you buy stuff you shouldn't have bought.
Yeah.
And then you come back to your apartment, and then you balance your book or whatever you do, look at your bank account, and then you're like, holy crap, I spent way too much. Mm-hmm. I can't spend another thing for 2 weeks or a week or whenever you're
Till I get paid again. Yeah.
And then you've replenished. Then you could start all over. And that's your life. Mm-hmm. That's my wife's life. That's the life of most people. I don't have, and rarely in my life have I ever had that. I'm an artist. Mm-hmm. So it's like I will get a check, and when I get a check, in my head, I always think it's the last money I'm ever going to get for the rest of my life.
Yep. Because you have no guarantee you're going to get any more.
Never. Mm-mm. It just doesn't happen. Now, I've been fortunate, and almost every time I get more somehow, sometimes, but it's not a regular week paid thing. I don't get a paycheck.
Right.
So I never know when it's going to happen or if it's going to happen. And that causes anxiety. So
yes, I know.
Only, let's say maybe the last 5, possibly 10, I think might be closer to 10, 5 to 10 years, have I actually learned how to handle that and let it not cause me like a crippling anxiety. Mm-hmm. I've learned to let it go, just let it be. And I look over and I just go, has there ever been a time when I didn't get any money? Now, maybe I didn't get it on time or I didn't get enough, but I've always gotten some when I needed some, and sometimes more than some. So it's just like, just wait and let it happen. And I've been doing that for like 10 years. And so the anxiety has got so much better.
Right.
But every once in a while, just like now, it just boom. You can't control it. It's just there. It's just like something that's way under the skin.
Yes.
And I don't know what the anxiety is, but I think it's financial. And I have money right now. I've got money in the bank. I've got a job. I got things I'm doing. So there's not a rationale for it, except like my mind telling me, oh, the future, you're going to be in trouble.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it is all your mind. Now, when you and I lived together, your anxiety caused me anxiety.
Well, I think it was the other way around.
Which caused us a lot of issues. So, but
yeah, I remember it a little different from you, but I do know what you're talking about. Yeah. But
we both suffered from your financial anxiety.
See, my anxiety was rarely about me. My anxiety was because I was running a company, and my anxiety was like, how do I pay my bills? How do I pay my employee? Mm-hmm. How do I pay my rent for my building? Mm-hmm. So all of those other things caused the anxiety, not so much like, am I going to get a paycheck? Because that usually happened. I didn't really have a problem. And then, there are those long droughts. You never know when those are going to happen.
Yeah, and those are scary.
Yeah.
Those are scary, especially when...
Not as much when you're married.
You become the sole breadwinner.
Yeah.
And you don't know how long you're going to be in that position.
Right.
Because there's no end in sight.
So I'm almost 60 years old, and I still have that. Mm-hmm. And my friends are retiring now in their beautiful houses with their children who are going to take care of them for the rest of their lives. And so they did all the things that a person is supposed to do in life, and I played games and stuff like that and watched Steve Martin on TV and things. So I didn't do the things.
I haven't done the things either. I have zero nest egg right now, and I'm pushing 50, so I'm in the same boat.
Yeah.
I will likely never be able to retire.
But the difference is you could start saving money. You have a 401k. You do all this stuff. So you have it available to you. Whether you're smart enough to use it, that remains to be seen. But it's like I would love, and I've been in that situation before. I have worked a few times in my life for companies and stuff where I got a paycheck, and it's just like, it's great, you have that guarantee all the time. And it's a false guarantee because your company could be sold or closed or whatever.
Or just kick your ass out the door tomorrow.
You don't know.
Yeah.
So, but you feel, just like I know, even if I spent every dollar that I have right now, in 2 weeks, I get more. So I would like that feeling. I wished I had that feeling.
You know what
I'll
feeling
never get that
I
feeling.
would like? I would like to have the feeling of knowing that I have 3 months of emergency funds.
You could do that.
Saved.
You could do it.
I could.
Yeah.
It would take work.
It would take not buying certain things.
Yes.
It would take just putting it away. But you think about it. So, and this is a little bit of a tangent, but like at the first of the year, I went on a diet. So now I'm on a diet. We talked about that on this show way too much. But I started an anti-inflammatory diet, inflammation diet, which is basically, if you know anything about diets, the Mediterranean diet. If you look that up, it's this. So that's what I'm doing. So I started thinking about it, and I just thought, if I could take 1 year, if you could take one whole year, just 1 year is all you have to do, to eat strict and good, I mean, like you're supposed to.
Right.
Even if you're eating stuff you hate, whatever, just for a year, you're cutting certain things out, and you're putting certain things in. And would you do that for a year if at the end of the year you could lose 50 pounds, your blood pressure would stabilize in the good zone, and you'd be much healthier? For 1 year is all you got to do. Would you do it?
I would love to. I would love to. That is a very big goal for me. Mm-hmm. It's hard enough for me to do that for 1 month.
But why? If you think the payoff is you're going to live longer, you're going to be healthier, and then at the end of that year, you will have developed some habits that will stay.
Yes.
But then, you might have ice cream a little more or some cheese or something.
Right.
But it would reset your body and you would just feel better. And it's like, why? Isn't it interesting that most of us would not do that? I
would. That's the thing is I would. I've just not yet been able to. Let me put it that way. I'm not going to say I can't do it. Mm-hmm. I'm going to say I've not yet been able to.
You are able. You just haven't done it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, that was kind of the question I asked myself at the first of this year. And I was like, so I was trying to find something to do to celebrate turning 60 this year.
Yeah.
Holy crap. And then I was just like, well, why don't I give myself a new body?
Happy birthday.
For my birthday, a new body, a healthier way of life, and the potential that I could live a little longer. Maybe I'll at least close to my wife, because she's younger than me.
Mm-hmm.
And so maybe I can stay, that foils her plans, but still.
Yeah, it does, actually. She and I have a whole book of plans.
Yeah, this is like all that insurance money.
Yeah.
But, so I started thinking about that. I was like, just a year, why not? Heck yeah, I'll give myself that. So I started doing, and I don't know, it just kind of switches something in your mind when you make that decision. Like a lot of times if you just sort of half-ass it, you just like, I think I'm going to eat healthy. It's my New Year's resolution. No reason or whatever. But I don't know, that kind of thought process helped me to kind of click over. And so I'm going to do it for a year. I'm totally doing it.
Good for you.
I'm already feeling better, losing weight and all that stuff.
See, it's hard for me to set a year's goal because my life goes up and down so much in 1 year emotionally. And I, go back and forth with emotional eating or eating healthy, et cetera, et cetera. Mm-hmm. I can say, I'm going to do this one thing, mm-hmm. whether it be cut this one thing out or, cut way back on this one thing, whatever it might be. What my biggest vices are for 2 weeks. If I can get through that 2 weeks, I'll reevaluate.
Yeah, okay.
And then if I got through that 2 weeks, that wasn't so bad. I can do 2 more weeks, Those are the kinds of goals that I am capable of setting. Okay, I use the word capable. I'm capable of setting long-term goals. Mm-hmm. I don't tend to stick to them when I do. So that little click that you were talking about, I haven't found what does that for me yet. Mm-hmm. But I can say 2 weeks, no big deal, right? Because 2 weeks is nothing.
Well, it is, in the long run, it is kind of nothing. I mean, other than just that you could look at it and go, "Oh, I did that for 2 weeks." It's like being more sober.
Yeah.
2 weeks is not going to heal your body.
No.
But it could heal your mind or start you on a transformation that becomes permanent. If you look back, if you've never been able to be sober for 2 weeks and you mm-hmm. did it, it's
an accomplishment.
Yeah, totally. And you can just go, look what I did. Now I can do that for the rest of my life.
And some people, if I can stay sober for the next hour, mm-hmm. if I can stay sober for a day,
yeah.
And that's how a lot of these programs work when people have issues with alcohol, especially, and other drugs as well, that or any other addiction, really. If you can say, I'm not doing this one thing for the next hour.
Yeah.
And then that hour's up and you're like, wow, I'm not going to do it for the next hour either. And eventually you get to, where you're like, look at how long I've been sober, you know?
Yeah.
And you start to notice clarity and things of that nature. So.
Well, I would say just, from what I know about you, I would just say, look into the Mediterranean diet.
I'm not saying looking into it today.
I'm not saying do it now. I'm just saying look into it for when you do want to make that change. Number one, it's not as hard as I thought it was going to be. It's a lot of good foods and it's stuff I like. I will tell you this. This is interesting. I would never have thought this. But yesterday morning for breakfast, I made an omelet. Mm-hmm. It was the best omelet I've ever had in my life.
Was it a really big omelet?
It was pretty big. But it was the best I've had in my life.
So that is funny because it is actually weird that you bring this up because I was, before I came over here on my computer, looking up the Mediterranean diet today.
Yeah, right.
Just today. Mm-hmm. And I thought, that all looks so good, you know?
It is.
Because surprisingly, fruit and veg are probably some of my favorite food items.
And my least.
Yeah. And somebody asked me on the phone or on IM over at work today, and I had to go to the grocery store at lunchtime, and I got back there and he was like, I'm hungry, what kind of snacks did you get? And I said, I got bananas, I got cucumbers, and I got what else did I get? Some other fruit or vegetable.
Some other phallic fruit.
Something like that, I guess.
I have to say that's my weakness, snacking, because first of all, there's no good snacks in it, really. Although I did find some recipes for some snacks that I want to try.
Well, roasted chickpeas right there. You can have chickpeas.
Yeah. Well, I can have cheese in moderation and just really all the good stuff. And I actually said this to my wife the other day. You're not going to believe it, but I told her I would be willing to try some dishes she makes with sweet potatoes.
Well, you tried one of them and you really enjoyed it.
No, that was squash. That was
butternut squash.
Butternut squash, yeah.
But you did try her sweet potato fries at the restaurant, and you liked those.
Yeah, I had a couple, and I liked them, but they're fries, and I'm not allowed to have fries. Yeah, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to try some stuff. You know, I'm going to, it's not going to be my favorite, but I'm willing to do it. And if every meal, if I could have an omelet like that omelet I had yesterday, it tasted like a pizza. It was so freaking good.
You've always been big on eggs.
I know, but that was so good.
Yeah.
So.
Well, good. I'm very, very proud of you, and I'm very excited to see how it goes. Also,
it makes you fart. That's the one thing.
That's another thing fruit and veg is good at.
So farty.
Yeah, gassy.
Incredibly.
You may want to start taking a probiotic along with your diet.
I do.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay. And you still fart?
Yeah.
You haven't farted today.
Just now did.
Did you really? Oh, God. Help me.
So anyway, backing way up, I just feel like that to me, I'm very fascinated by the idea of would you take a year to heal yourself? And the amount of people that would say no.
Yeah.
It's like, really? Okay.
No? Really?
You wouldn't do. It just, I don't really get that.
Well,
so my thing about when I was a kid, I always, this is just my personality, I guess, but I used to think about God. Mm-hmm. People talk about God. I knew a lot of Christians and other people in my family circle, whatever, neighborhood, whatever, who talked a lot about God. And when I was a kid, I wanted to be a minister, I was going to do that. And I just thought, if there's a God, how can you have any life outside of him? If there is a God, the the thing, the big cheese, how could you do anything that's like, okay, God, I'll be back. I need to watch Bonanza. So basically at that moment, you're just like, Bonanza is more important than God.
Right.
It just didn't make sense to me. I was just like, if there's a God, why are you not devoting your entire life to a relationship? I didn't understand people who didn't do that. So it's the same kind of thing here where I'm just like, if it's health, the most healthy you can ever be, why would you say no to it?
Some people, like myself, who suffer with some certain mental diagnoses, have a very, very difficult time setting long-term goals like that.
But a year, that's a short term.
Not for me.
If you're 50-something, it's 1/50th of your life. That's short.
I know, but it's daunting. It's like, to me, it's overwhelming. So then I give up because it's too overwhelming.
I'm not going to go into it anymore. I'm not trying to change your mind. I'm not trying to change anybody's mind. I'm just telling you my point of view, my stuff, my thing,
your situation.
That's right. What you got? What are you doing? What's over there? What are you doing?
You almost said it again.
I did not.
I know you didn't. I have some days of the week.
Oh, look, our beer. We've drank the exact amount of beer.
Wow.
Isn't that weird?
That is very weird.
Exactly the same amount of beer. All right.
Interesting.
Still going to drink more.
Okay.
We should start a new, for the new the 200th episode, we should have like a new rating system.
For our beers?
Yeah.
So instead of...
I don't know.
We could give it like, I don't know.
We should do like thumbs up, thumbs down.
You think? Without like giving it...
No, because every beer would be a thumbs up. Well, not every, but most.
No, not everyone.
I probably have more 2.5 beers, which is right in the middle.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll think about it. But for right now, we're going to stick with our 5.
No, let's do 5. That's fine.
I have some days of the week here, national days of the week for the upcoming week, starting, if you're listening on Monday, today, the 11th. Nope, the 10th. Monday is January the 10th, and it is also National Bittersweet Chocolate Day.
Oh, that's on my diet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can have dark chocolate. It's supposed to be really good for you, and I don't understand this, but there's like a ratio of like sweet to cacao powder or something. I don't know. You got to figure that out. But yeah, you can have it.
I have, I bought just in the bakery section at the grocery store, I bought 72% cacao, little chunks.
Yep.
And I'll just grab like 4 or 5 of them and pop them in my mouth. And that's sweet enough for me right there.
Good stuff.
Yeah. You can also have red wine.
I've had it.
On the Mediterranean diet. In moderation, just like the chocolate and the cheese and the things of that nature. Now, if you get migraines, remember, chocolate, cheese, and wine all cause migraines.
So, like, they talk about baked potatoes being bad for you, but almost every time it's not baked potatoes that are bad for you. It is the crap people put on. The
topping that you put on them. Exactly. I agree. Okay, so Tuesday, the 11th, is 2 days that I picked to tell you about, but please don't put them together.
Oh.
One is National Milk Day.
Okay.
Okay. And it doesn't have to I didn't look it up, but it doesn't necessarily have to be for our purposes cow's milk. It could be breast milk. It could be
cow's milk is breast milk. Where do you think it comes from?
Well, not cow breast milk is what I mean. Could be human breast milk.
Okay.
Whatever it is that you have access to.
Human udders.
Don't call my boobs udders, please.
Not romantic.
At all.
If you're ever on a date, just don't go, you really have attractive udders.
Let me squeeze your udders.
Don't do it.
Don't. 0 out of 10 recommend.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. But it's also National Step in a Puddle and Splash Your Friends Day.
Oh, I haven't done that since I was a kid.
Well, yeah. Wouldn't that be fun?
No, it's kind of obnoxious.
Go play in the rain.
Why would you do that to your friends?
Well,
your friends hate you. They're like, look what she did.
If you have your galoshes and your raincoat on.
I'm 6 years old and never once had a galosh. I haven't let alone 2 of them. Never done that.
You didn't have rain boots?
No.
Really?
Why would you need those? You just walk.
You lived in Tennessee.
You walk around the puddles. You don't walk through them.
You splashing them.
I never did.
Okay, I did. It's fun. But don't do it in milk.
Remember they used to call them rubbers. Put on your rubbers.
Put on your rubbers.
Yeah. And then there was always some kids that would giggle, and I was like, why are they giggling?
That was in college, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Wednesday the 12th is National Kiss a Ginger Day. Do you know a ginger you can kiss?
Oh, I know many that I know many that I would want to.
Okay.
But none that I can.
Okay. Well, Jenny's kind of got some ginger in her.
Maybe.
You could kiss your cat.
She's brown. Yeah.
Yeah, she's got different colors.
Keely. Lewis
is a ginger.
He'll bite your lips.
Yeah, he will. So where are we at? Oh, Thursday, January the 13th.
Okay.
This is funny because it has the word rubber in it.
Uh-oh.
National Rubber Ducky Day.
Rubber ducky, you're the one.
You have some rubber duckies.
I do.
Yeah. I like your rubber ducky.
I was trying to do a rubber ducky collection at one point, and
Yep.
I think I got more like 3 or 4, but that's all.
Yeah. I think you have more Funko Pops than you have rubber duckies.
Those are all, no, I was going to say they're given to me, but I might have bought 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you have rubber duckies, give them some love on Thursday. Friday.
Ducky love.
Friday the 14th is, you're going to hate this one.
Uh-oh.
National Dress Up Your Pet Day.
Yeah, that's pretty dumb.
It is kind of dumb, isn't it? But Keely comes back from the groomers with little bows in her ears.
I don't put them in it.
That's true.
I will say, though, that I've wanted to put a hat on Lewis. Lewis is the kind of dog that looks like he should be wearing a hat.
Good luck with that. You go ahead and put a hat on Lewis.
Yeah. Well, we discovered that Lewis likes blankets. Mm-hmm. We didn't know that. And then all of a sudden we figured it out. And that dog loves blankets more than anything in the world. It's just like we discovered something about him that no one else knows. And he is so happy about it.
And he loves his blankies.
He loves. So he's been sleeping like so deep. He'll like bury his face in the blankets and he just passes out. Mm-hmm. He's never done that since we've had him. We've had him since the end of April. Mm-hmm. And I just feel like that, like his whole life, he came from a really bad situation. There was some abuse and stuff. And we just kind of felt like that he's never been able to sleep deeply.
Right.
Because he's always been looking out and waiting for someone to do something to him. Mm-hmm. And now he's been with us for so long, he's getting comfortable and he can sleep deeply. And I've actually heard him making dreaming noises. And
Oh.
stuff. He's that deep.
He's doing dreamies.
Yeah, and he never did before. When we first got him, he wouldn't even he was always on guard. He would close his eyes.
Yeah.
But it was just like he was always like on guard. Now he passes out.
Yeah.
And in the blankets. He loves them.
Although, even when he is passed out, if you try and take a toy away from him, he'll take your fingers off.
Sometimes he's getting better at that though. But he still needs a hat.
He still needs a hat.
He needs a hat.
You're going to have to put gloves on to put a hat on him.
Yeah, maybe a hat and like a catcher's mitt. He needs like a muzzle too.
Muzzle. Yeah. All right. So
you have the distinction of being the person he's bitten the most.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
3 times now.
Yeah.
Almost 4.
Yeah, and no one else has got even close.
Mm-mm.
He doesn't like you.
He doesn't like me.
Or maybe he likes you so much he wants to taste you.
No, that can't be it.
Okay.
Because he's bitten me on the back of the thigh.
I don't know.
He's bitten me on the hand.
Okay.
And he's bitten me on the hip.
Okay.
So, and it might just have something to do with where he was in relation to me when he bit me.
Could be.
However. Okay. So let's not dress him up just yet. At least let me leave the room first. January the 15th is Saturday, and it is National Bagel Day, which you can't have.
Whole wheat I can.
You can have whole wheat bagel?
You can have like a whole wheat bread, like real whole wheat bread.
Yeah.
Not just whole wheat flour or processed flour or whatever. But if you have like really good breads, you can have those.
I wonder, can you have that diabetic bread? What's it called? Jeremiah bread?
Ezekiel.
That's
But that's the kind that they actually recommend. It's Ezekiel
okay.
bread. But at the farmers market here, the Cab Farmers Market, they have really good bread, so I can have that. And
okay.
Get some of that bread and put olive oil on it. Holy crap, it's good. It's so good. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. You can have tasty stuff if you know where to find it.
Yeah. It's also National Strawberry Ice Cream Day.
Okay. I used to like strawberry ice cream. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But you can't have that right now, can you?
No, can't do the sugar.
No sugar.
Sugar's out.
Okay. But you can have maybe like strawberry popsicle or something.
All right. So, like the first day I went on this diet.
Yeah.
And I decided this is it. And I told my wife this is it. And so I went to the kitchen and she had laid out on the counter some Beyond sausage, the Beyond meat sausage.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't eat that. And she's like, why? And I was like, well, it's full of fat.
Yeah.
It's processed. I'm not eating processed foods right now. I told you I'm not going to do it. So I'm not going to eat that. And she said, okay, well, put it back in the freezer then. So I put it back in the freezer. So that night I go to have dinner. She's made dinner, big soup. I go back. And then there's sausages in it. And I was like, we had that conversation. Why? And she's like, you could just pull them out. And I was like, no, you can't just pull them out. If you put a hunk of pork in there, you can't just pull the pork out. There's still pork in it.
Right.
There's pork juices, pork pieces. It's just, it doesn't work that way. Mm-hmm. I don't know what I think she just thought, oh, he'll come around. He'll eat it.
Because she wanted it in her soup.
I don't know, but I mean, I think she's always just considered me like a garbage disposal. I would just eat whatever she puts out there, which is kind of true. But see, that's the way I am. I can't. When I make a goal like that, I can't slip back, because if I slip back once, I'll slip back 100 times.
Yeah.
So I have to say no. So with the ice cream, if I'm having ice cream on a technicality,
yeah,
then the technicality, next thing, it'll just be ice cream.
It'll just be ice cream.
So I have to say no. I'm not doing that.
Not doing it.
So like sugars, like that, and processed foods and things like that. That's the kind of stuff for years gone. I'm not doing it. I might rarely have a burger. Like I might go to Grindhouse and have a Impossible Burger once every 4 months, if that.
Okay.
But that's rare. That's going to be very rare.
Well, I wish you luck with that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's also, let's see. Okay, that's Saturday. Now Sunday.
16th.
Sunday is the 16th. Mm-hmm. It is 2 days that I've decided to mention. One is National Fig Newton Day. I should probably stop talking about all these foods that you can't eat.
I don't care.
Okay.
I'm not craving them.
Okay, good.
I do like Fig Newtons, though.
I know you do. So National Fig Newton Day. It's also National Religious Freedom Day.
Okay.
So, people are allowed to worship however they want to worship, so long as nobody's being hurt and they're not breaking any laws.
People should only worship me. I don't feel like that they should have freedom.
And
they should be required to worship me.
Oh, I was going to say, because people are free to worship you if they want to, because that's part of National Religious Freedom Day.
But I don't think they know that.
Oh.
Well, and if they say no, that's a problem. They should be forced.
They should be forced. It's Rick Baldwin Day, everybody.
I'm actually thinking.
Does it hurt?
This is true. I'm actually thinking. I shouldn't even say this. I'm actually thinking about starting my own cult. I've always thought it would be kind of interesting to start my own cult, to write like scriptures, and to actually like put together the whole thing, like put it on the web, put it on the internet, and see if I can get it to catch on. I think I can.
Okay, so you just used the word cult. So you intend to start a cult.
I'm not going to tell people that. I'm just saying, I'm telling you that.
Oh, well, and everybody that's listening.
No, nobody's listening.
That's true too.
And I just think that I'm not going to use that word, but people will see all the stuff and then they'll believe it, and then I will have that's what L. Ron Hubbard did.
Yeah.
I met a person who knew him at the time, and she said, she's dead now, but she said that he started Scientology on a bet. Someone bet him that he couldn't start a religion, and he said, "I will show you I can," and he did it.
And so you intend to do this?
I'm going to do something similar to that, I think. Pretty sure.
Okay.
We'll
Every
see.
cult has spin-offs, though.
We'll see.
You could be held accountable.
But I do feel like probably if I do this, I should be the center of it. I should be the one people. I should have like a photo of myself on the altar.
So this is where you'll be worshipped.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? I guess.
I'll
tell you why not.
So I was watching a documentary the other day about David Koresh.
Yeah.
Branch Davidians.
Yeah.
And he was just a doofus.
Yeah.
He was a crazy doofus.
Yeah.
But people followed him.
Yeah.
People were having sex with him. All you have to do is put yourself. And by the way, that's going to be a requirement. People have to have sex with me. Men and women and certain animals.
Oh God! What if the animal chooses not to be part of your?
Oh, they will.
Cult?
They will. Just wait. But why did they go? He was crazy.
Yeah.
He wasn't that good looking.
No.
So all you have to do is start a cult, and people are going to want to do you.
But you are married.
She will have to do it. That's all cult people force their spouse to do things. It always, usually they're like, I want another wife. And they have to be like, they get like 2, 3, 4 wives.
Yeah.
And the other wife has to do it.
Could you handle that many wives?
No.
No. God, no.
But I will if I get any lip from the one I got.
No. I'm going to tell her you said that.
I'll get another one that doesn't give me lip. And that's the thing. When you start getting higher up in the cult, when you start like real women, and I would say men too. I know there's there's women cult leaders.
Yes.
They don't give you sass. They will do what you say because they trust you. They believe you. They think you're came from God, and so they do what you tell them to. So it's just like really, it's the perfect thing. I don't know why I didn't think about it a long time ago, and actually I did. I just never did it.
So what are you going to base your cult in?
Well, I'm still working on it. I don't know yet.
Still formulating?
Yeah.
All right. That would be an interesting thing to see how that goes.
We'll see.
All right.
Got your days? Is that every?
That's all the days.
All
this
right,
particular person says, I don't think it's a good idea, Rick.
I'm going to do a thing really quick. So now we're actually recording on Thursday.
Yes.
Thursday. What is today?
The 6th.
6th.
1 year ago today.
Yeah, 1 year ago today was the insurrection at the White House. Capitol building. Sorry, not the White House. And there's been a lot of stuff going on about it and stuff. And so I started thinking about this the other day, and it just kind of works perfectly along with today.
Okay.
And this is not really about that, but it just kind of is connected with it. It reminds me of it. I started thinking about conspiracy theories because the longer you get away from events like that, the major events, some nutcase is going to come up with some theory about why it happened or some secret thing that was going. And I've heard so many about this one, and you know that it happens no matter what.
Yes, I agree.
I have family members who are so conspiratorial. I mean, it's just like they never will take the most reasonable explanation. It's never Occam's razor.
Right.
It's always his clippers.
His
scissors.
It's Occam's scissors.
Or like some kind of a wax substance to pull the hair off. It's never the easiest way. So anyway, so I was doing a little research and I found, so these are the 13. So first of all, let me ask you, is there any conspiracy that you actually think there might be something to that? Any major conspiracy?
Yeah, I know what
that you hear out there that you just think, maybe there's something there.
Actually, yes.
Really?
Yes. There is, but I'm not going to say that I completely say.
Well, that's the thing. It's just like you think there might be something to that.
There might be something to it.
Okay.
But I wasn't there, so I can't say. Like, for instance, I don't know for sure, but it just seems rather odd to me, the whole thing about Lee Harvey Oswald killing JFK.
Kennedy. You think what, more people are involved or he didn't do it?
I don't know. And that's the thing. That's why I'm saying there might be something there, because for him to act alone and to be able to pull that off just seems a little outrageous to me.
Okay.
So but again, I wasn't there.
Right.
I wasn't even born yet.
Right.
And other people were there, and I just think that more evidence needs to be presented in order to make a definite yes or no.
And I don't think it ever will. That's what fuels conspiracy, is there's not enough evidence,
right,
or it's not available.
Right.
So people fill in the gaps with their own information, their own
theories,
possibilities, or some weird thing.
Absolutely.
It doesn't even have to be a possibility.
One that gets me a little bit sometimes is people who say that there were no planes at 9/11. Yeah,
we'll talk about that. Let me tell you, I feel like the one, and I feel a little ashamed about this, but in some ways not. I think that so the whole conspiracy that we're kind of being controlled by the drug companies.
Yeah.
I feel like there's something to that. I tend to think.
You mean like Big Pharma?
Yes.
Okay.
I tend to think that if they wanted, and this is a perfect example, COVID happened, and within just a few months, they have a vaccine for it.
Uh-huh.
And here's the thing, too. Why don't they have a cure? Why is it a vaccine? It's a vaccine because, you have to have a booster. Oh, you need another one. Oh, another year. You got to have another one. If they cured it, you would never have to go back.
Okay.
And they don't make any more money.
Do you think that they're capable of curing it?
How do they almost cure it? Because that's what they're doing with the vaccines. It's like we could cure it and then just back off a little bit, and that's what we're doing.
That's kind of a deep theory there.
But that's the only conspiracy thing that I think that maybe I won't say only one, but that's the main one that I think there's some, like, I think, and could they cure cancer? Yes. Have they? Yes. What can't they do? They haven't found a vaccine for it yet. They have a cure for cancer. Now, let me just say, this is my opinion.
Okay. Yes, thank you.
They have a cure for cancer. They don't have a vaccine for cancer. So they're not going to put the cure out because they don't want to cure all these people. They want to vaccine them. They want to give them a little dose of something so that it's just like Viagra. You take it once a month, and then the next month you go get a prescription, take it again. $60 a pill. I'm guessing. I haven't checked on it.
Yet.
And you keep doing that, and then they make that money. I think it's really weird. I know what I'm gonna sound like, but I think it's really weird that they push this whole vaccine thing on us. Get one. No. Get two. Johnson & Johnson did the one thing, and everybody else did the two things, which means it could be done with one. Oh, no. Everybody else did two. Why did they do two? Because two costs more than one. So, and then they were like, wow, this works really well. Oh, guess what? There's a new variant. You're going to need a booster, and that's going to go on forever and ever. And I'm not saying it doesn't work. I'm not saying it doesn't help. I'm just saying they're going to keep doing it because that's how they get their money.
Okay.
That's my conspiracy thing.
That's
the one. That's the one. And I believe there's so many diseases and things that they could cure and probably have cured, but they haven't found the regular pill that'll back it off a little bit and keep you on it forever.
That's deep.
I know. All right, so here are the 13 biggest conspiracy theories out there. I thought it'd be kind of fun to check in on. Number one, we're running out of time, but I'm going to do it really quick. Number one, the moon landing. You know people who don't think that the moon landing happened?
I do know someone, yes.
It's weird, and that has been disproven over and over and over in a lot of ways. We actually have moon rocks. Where did those come from?
Yeah.
But other things, too. I remember Mythbusters did a thing about it, but it's just ridiculous.
Everybody always says the flag.
But I don't understand why they came up with that one.
I don't know.
You know?
Because here's why is because most people who delve into conspiracy theories are just pissed that the government is lying to them. And I'm like, okay, that's not the first time the government, if they were lying, that is not the first time they ever lied to you.
No, they lie all
and
the
it will
time.
not be the last time. And to tell me that you think governments aren't supposed to lie, show me that where that's written.
Yeah.
Show me where that's written, where they said we won't lie to you, because it doesn't exist. Anyway, go on.
Okay, second one is the 9/11 conspiracies you were talking about. And there's so many of them, and it's another one of those things where it just doesn't make sense. I felt that from the beginning. It's just like it's an action. Someone flew a freaking plane into a building. It makes no sense, but it happened, and because it makes no sense, people have to figure out a why did it happen. And I thought it was really interesting, this article. There was like, yes, it was a conspiracy. It was a conspiracy that these guys put together in the Middle East to crash a plane into a building. It was their conspiracy, not ours. But some of the stuff people say, metal doesn't melt at this, and that's been disproven over and over and over. But it does. You will never tell the people who don't believe it that they're not going to change their mind. They're always not going to believe it for whatever reason, and they're going to come up with more and more and more reasons. And every single time somebody says, all right, tell me why, blah, blah, I'm just like, no. Why would I waste my breath?
Yeah.
Because the moment I do, you're going to find a reason to conspiracy about that.
The only validity to anybody talking about that, in my opinion, is the way that the building came down.
Yeah.
It looked very much like a demoed building.
It was a pancake, but I mean, that's what they say. When it starts falling, it keeps falling. It's because of the weight.
Yeah.
But it was just crazy.
And I'm like, were you there? Did you look up? Did you see any planes? You weren't even there. So how can you tell me there were no planes?
Yeah.
Why don't we talk to the other 100 or so, or hundreds of people who witnessed it,
or who were on the plane?
And
you
ask
can't talk
them.
to them because they don't exist anymore.
Exactly.
Where did
What do you
they
think?
put those?
We killed them all.
Yeah.
The government killed them all.
Yeah. All right. Next one, Princess Diana murders. A lot of people think that either the royals had her killed, or the family of her
Dodi.
Yeah, he had her killed. There's all kinds of conspiracies when it was just a drunk chauffeur trying to get away from paparazzi. Yeah.
You can blame the paparazzi for it, or
Yeah.
you can blame the driver for drinking and driving, but it's not a conspiracy. It was a poor choice by several people, and it ended up in an accident.
Yeah. All right, so here's one now. I'm wondering if you ever heard of this, subliminal advertising.
Yes, I've heard of it, and it's been disproven.
Yeah. So
they tried to do it.
I remember when I was in college, I had a lot of advertising classes because I was a communication major, and we had to read this book about subliminal advertising. And it was just, I was very fascinated by it. But all of that stuff was bullcrap. And none of that, the stuff in the book ever happened or made sense.
Yeah.
And they were talking about how, you flash for 2 seconds image that says drink Coke, and everybody in the movie theater wants to get up
and go get a Coke.
And they're like, well, why, when movies have flashed something really quick, have people not responded to that? It's always that. The advertising, and it's all crap.
Well, yeah, because they actually, I don't know who they is, but I watched a program very recently on it. And somebody tried to make it happen just to see if it could happen.
Right.
And they couldn't do it.
Right. It's been disproven so many times. All right. Next one, Paul McCartney's death. Remember that? That's a little older for you.
Vaguely.
But there's a conspiracy that says that Paul McCartney died and they replaced him with a double. And I believe it's Abbey Road where they're crossing the road. And Paul McCartney is the only one out of step with the other people. And there's all kinds of stuff. You're supposed to be able to hear, I think it's through backward masking or something on the album. It says Paul is dead.
Yeah.
And other things supposedly happened that pointed. It's like, why would you do that and then point all these clues? Why would you just come right out and say he died?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why would you hide it and then try to secretly tell people?
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
It's another one of those things that I think people get a thrill out of trying to solve it. It's like it's just our natural inclination to try to solve a mystery.
But what I don't understand is, why are you wasting your time on trying to solve Paul McCartney's death and not trying to come up with some great invention? If you're going to put this much frickin' research into something, make it worthwhile.
And here's the other thing. If Paul McCartney died and you replaced him with a double, and here's the thing, you could right now find someone who looks a lot like me.
Oh, sure.
They would not be me.
No.
So how do you find someone who looks like Paul McCartney, who is a equally fantastic songwriter, singer, player, just like Paul McCartney?
Yeah, good luck with that.
That's even more incredible. Again, Occam's razor.
Yeah.
That's more incredible than the original thing. It makes no sense.
None.
All right, next one, John F. Kennedy's assassination, which you were talking about.
Yeah.
That's a popular one, obviously. All right, Roswell crash and cover up.
Okay, so do I think that the Roswell Area 51 is housing dead aliens or a spaceship? No, I don't. Maybe, but I'm not there. I don't know. I would need more evidence.
According to this article, it has been, the government, they want to talk about it, but it is kind of been revealed since then that it was a top secret spy balloon that crashed, and that's why they didn't talk about it. But no one is, all the conspiracy people are never going to go with that. Why would they? So it just makes the conspiracy even stronger.
Well, okay, I will tell you this much, though, kind of along that same vein. I do believe that in how big our universe is, there is life on other planets.
Most likely.
Yeah. So, but do I think that they're coming around and visiting us?
In little saucers?
In little saucers? Not necessarily. Probably not.
Yeah.
Do I believe that they visited the ancient Egyptians? I don't know. I'm not Egyptian, and I might be old, but I'm not ancient. So you'd have to ask them.
Yeah. All right. Here's one I didn't know much about. The I can't read it. The Protocols of the Elders of Zion. Do you know what that is?
Where Jesus and Mary were married and had babies.
No.
Oh.
But thanks for bringing that one up. Apparently, this is a book. Now, they say it's been forged or whatever, but it's a book that supposed to talk about, it's supposed to be a book created by a secret society of Jews that talk about how it's their destination to take over the world.
Okay.
And it was used by Hitler as an excuse for doing a lot of the things he did.
Okay.
And other things actually quoted in Mein Kampf, and just other things. And a lot of racists, I guess, probably use it as an excuse. Mm-hmm. But it never had a reality. Someone created this, and so there's no way to find out the origins of it.
Right.
But all of that stuff makes it great for conspiracy.
Oh yeah, big time fodder. Yeah,
it's just like someone, quote, finding a book that proves that some race is inferior, and then that way you can use that wonderful book to suddenly excuse your racism.
Yes,
and all of the things that you always knew is true now can be proven because we found this secret book.
I found this book.
And that's basically what this book is. All right, next one, the Satanic Panic. In the 80s, remember there was like this whole big thing about Satanism. Mm-hmm. It just became a big panic. And then, and I've seen documentaries about this, people closed down a daycare, I believe it was in California. And these people went to prison because they said that they were sacrificing these children to Satan. And I've seen documentaries and the people are just like, we didn't know what the hell was going on. And the next thing I know, they're putting us in jail. And somebody was in jail for years on that. And it was just a paranoia. It was just this hysterical thing.
It's a mob mentality.
By weird religious people.
Yeah.
But it happened in a lot of different ways. And so Geraldo Rivera was a big conduit for a lot of the fear and stuff in his show. Things that, just a scare everybody. There was supposed to be ritualistic satanic sacrifices going on all the time.
All the time.
There was never any proof of it.
Everywhere. Yeah. It's never been proven. Mm-mm.
And then, heavy metal bands were sacrificing and trying to get people to commit suicide. And then they had to go to court. It's so ridiculous. Mm-hmm. Still going on. This one is ridiculous. Chemtrails.
Oh God. Yeah.
So there's a lot of people, if you look up into the sky, number one, you're going to see clouds. Number two, you're going to see planes making clouds. And guess what? They're made the exact same way.
Exactly.
But the planes are these long trails.
Yeah.
Coming out of the planes.
Yeah.
And there are people.
Exhaust trails.
There are people who believe that the government is putting chemicals in there in order to control us, in order to kill us, whatever. I don't know. Each person has their own conspiracy thing. Here's the problem. Number one, when you have a cold sky atmosphere and a plane's hot engine is blowing into that, guess what you get?
Clouds.
You get some clouds. Just like the clouds up in the sky, they're created the exact same way. You get that. And the reason that they're long little trails is because they're coming out of the plane's engine. All right? If you keep watching them, they will dissipate.
Yes, they will.
As they cool, they go away.
Because they're clouds.
Yeah. And here's the other thing. The people, let's just say it's true. Let's say that the government or scientists or whoever are trying to murder the people. Let me ask you a question. Where do those scientists live? They live on Earth. Why would they poison themselves?
I know.
Why would they poison their families?
I know.
They live in a house next to you.
And why would the government try and poison us with chemtrails? All they're doing is killing voters.
Why do you believe stupid stuff?
That's another good question.
All right, next one, Barack Obama's birthism. People who believe that Barack Obama's birth certificate was forged, fake, and it went on, and Trump was one of them. It just went on and on and on.
That's such
forever.
bullshit.
And even at one point, he just said, "All right, screw it. Here's my birth certificate." First of all, big mistake. They have it. Guess what? It's forged. It's not true. We don't believe it. Blah, 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 blah. You're not going to satisfy them. Don't do it.
Just don't engage. Don't engage.
All right. This one was interesting. COVID and 5G. There are a lot of people who believe that 5G technology causes COVID.
Yeah.
And also who believe that Bill Gates is trying to inject people with 5G chips so he can control them.
Yes, Bill Gates himself
apparently
has decided this is going to happen, and everybody's just gone along with it.
Guess what? None of it makes sense. Do you know why it doesn't make sense? It's because you don't believe in education. Mm-hmm. You certainly don't believe in higher education. You don't believe in being educated, period. You put it down. And because of that, you don't know how it works.
Yeah.
Learn some stuff.
Yeah.
Get educated.
Yeah.
That's not how 5G works. I'm not saying 5G is safe. Not saying that. If anything, maybe it'll cause cancer or something else. It's not going to cause COVID. No one's trying to put a freaking 5G chip. You can't inject a 5G. Do you know how small that would have to be?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's stupid.
Dumbasses. All right. This is funny. Birds aren't real.
What?
There is a group, an organization, who has started this conspiracy theory that birds are not real. And they're doing it as a study to show. It's kind of like the flying spaghetti monster is a religion.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. They have all of these, just like a conspiracy thing, they have all of these things to show that birds are not real. So no matter what you say, they can back it up. It's really genius.
I might have to look into that one.
It's very, very cool. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see who the people are here. But they. Do
you want glasses?
No, I'd have to go through and read this whole thing. But anyway, give that a look because it's awesome. It's to show people who are really into conspiracies how dumb a lot of it is. And you can back up the whole thing. Birds aren't real. Just like you can back up almost anything. There you go. Those are the 13 most common or popular conspiracies. One conspiracy that wasn't listed in here is that this show is never going to end. We're not going to stop doing the show.
It's a conspiracy.
It's going to go on all night long, all morning. It's never going. We're never going to have.
I'm not going to be able to make it to work tomorrow.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now. I'm here to put an end to that conspiracy. I'm also here to put an end to the show.
Okay.
Time to stop.
And our live beer review.
We're going to talk about the beer. What did you think? Yours is gone. I have about a half inch.
Yep. So that's what they said. Again, what we're drinking is Interrogation Stout. It's a coffee milk stout in conjunction with Brash Coffee Roasters with Scofflaw Brewing Company. 6% alcohol by volume. What do you think?
I liked it. A little sweet for where I am right this minute. I didn't care for that, but I did enjoy the beer. I like the flavor. Mm-hmm. Just like all of those kind of beers, it loses carbonation. It almost becomes like a flat soda. It's just a little too sweet, a little too flat. But it's very coffee tasting. I like the flavor, all right?
I'm actually concerned that it might actually have caffeinated coffee in it.
No.
Because it's a conspiracy.
I don't know why you're such a baby about that.
Well, because I have to go to bed eventually.
Okay.
But if I don't know if it would have to say contains caffeine or not.
All right. Well, I'm going to give it a 3.5 because I did enjoy it. It's not the best thing I've ever had. Not the worst. It's it actually tastes like a lot of the same kind of things that we've had before.
Agreed.
And I did enjoy it. We've had so many IPAs recently. It's nice to have a little bit of a change. So 3.5 from me.
3 for me.
Yeah.
Are you going to write this one down?
Oh, yeah, I should. I need to start taking those. I need to start
taking notes.
You said what?
3.
You said 3. I said 3.5. All right, I'm gonna post that. It's called Interrogation, and if you like it, go get some. Is it a local company?
Yeah, it's in Atlanta. Scofflaw's in Atlanta.
All right, if you're local, let's go ahead and get
do it.
I had so many other things we'll talk about. I can't remember what they are now, so we're going to put it into it. We're going to put a stop. Hey, everybody, thanks for listening to the podcast, as always. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us or wherever you want to find us. That's where we're going to be.
We'll show up.
Yeah. And you can also send us nice little notes, thisepicdisaster@gmail.com. Drop us a line. Tell us you like the show. Leave us a review. Leave us a rating. That's our favorite thing you could do. And, that's how you communicate with us.
Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Yeah, you could actually program the show. You could write in and say, oh, we'd like to hear you talk about this.
That's right. You could. You could say, hey, by the way, I want you to do a bit on this, or I want you to talk about this.
We'll look it up. We'll start talking about it.
We will, because we need help.
Yeah. All right, so we will see you, because we're here every Monday.
Yes.
With beer in hand, so we're going to see you next Monday.
Have a good evening.
All right, see you then.
Bye.
Bye.
This is a Violet Jester Media podcast.